Today, a special edition of Eyewitness News Afternoon, the Great American Smokeout. We'll look at the question of smokers' rights, the dangers of breathing secondary smoke, and why people ignore the health warnings. We'll examine the effects on children who smoke cigarettes, and Herb Weisbaum looks into the Stop Smoking products and finds out if they really work.
Live from the Channel 7 studios, it's Eyewitness News Afternoon with Susan Hutchison and Steve Rabel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Eyewitness News Afternoon on this Thursday, November 17th. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Steve. You know, today we have a show for
Aunt Mary, this week on the Golden Girls. Live from WROC Channel 8, this is Eyewitness News with Dwayne Brozick and Liz Vega, meteorologist Kevin Williams, and J.C. DeLass on sports, the team to watch. This is Eyewitness News.
News for the 90s. Barbara Boulding, Catherine G, Doug Bell Sports, and Fred Barnhill with weather. This is WBMG Action News 42 Night Desk. You're watching WKYC Channel 3 Cleveland. And now, news from Jeff Maynor and Lisa Colagrassi, plus exclusive Doppler 3 forecasts from Eileen McShay. This is Channel 3 News.
WRC TV Washington. This is News 4, live at 5, with Susan Kidd, Peter Ford, weather with meteorologist Bob Ryan, and George Michael's sports. Now, live at 5.
Flags continue to fly at half-staff tonight as the state mourns the loss of one of its own.
Ahead on Live at 5, we'll have the latest on the search to find Corporal Wolf's killers.
Firefighters battled a smoking two-alarm fire in West Baltimore today. We'll have that story.
And smokers will soon lose another round. This weekend, Amtrak begins its new policy to ban smoking on some trains. We'll tell you about it in tonight's Focus at 5.
Live at 5 is next.
WBAL Television, Baltimore. From News 11, this is Live at 5.
And how does this...
12 News is closed caption for the hearing impaired. Now, from the Grand Canyon to the White Mountains and Sonoran Desert, the team that brings you news from across our state, with Ron Hoon and Connie Cola.
This is Morning Break with your host, Sherry Woodard. A half hour of the latest news and entertaining interviews to help keep you better informed.
Action News 5 p.m. with Phil Bonds, Robbie Timmons, Steve Garagiola, Rob Kress, and Detroit's first news team.
News 4 at 6 with Margie Reedy, Jack Legoff and business editor Jennifer Moore, Al Ackerman with sports, Brian Tegland in Weather Watch, and the News 4 team.
From KWGN TV, Denver's first late news. This is Channel 2 News with Dave Young, Beverly Weaver, Al Fogelman, and Jim Conrad.
Good evening, I'm Dave Young.
And I'm Beverly Weaver. Thanks for joining us tonight.
You're with California 9, Los Angeles. Dunphy, Tawny Little, Carl Bell's weather, and Tom Murray on sports. This is Prime 9 News at 10, Southern California's most honored newscast.
Here are the top stories coming up on Eyewitness News. A controversy is developing between politicians in the city and suburbs over the issue of the commuter tax and voting rights in the district. Bob Strickland reports. Chris Gordon reports on the continuing jury selection process at the Letelier murder trial. Mike Buchanan has details on a new police program to reduce the number of homicides involving members of a family. Bruce Johnson has part 3 of his special series, The Chicken Bone Express. Glenn Brenner has sports, including a talk with the Caps' new goalie, Gary Innes. And on the Future File, Steve Gendell shows us an ultraviolet satellite. Those stories and more as the Eyewitness News Service continues now, with Maureen Bunyan and Bob Dalton substituting for Gordon Peterson.
Welcome to the world of 7 Spin.
News 7 at 5:30 with Paul Berry and Chris Curl.
Coming up, more problems with smoking, and a pay problem for some D.C. workers is solved.
And 2, not 1, but 2 storm systems headed our way.
Maryland's biggest win of the year, and Georgetown's John Thompson on tonight's game and more.
The Maryland and Virginia legislatures are open for business, and we'll take another look at UFOs. Coming up on News Center 4.
Good evening, I'm Jim Hartz, along with Jim Vance, Willard Scott, Nick Charles, and here's the news.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News.
Good evening, I'm Chris Gordon.
Next on Eyewitness News, a local police officer speaks out on a tense standoff in Waco, Texas. Are police down south handling the situation correctly? We'll hear what one officer has to say. And police in Phoenix, Oregon say one man has been arrested. They say he forged checks worth more than $100,000. Good evening, it's Tuesday night. I'm John Mercer, and this is the 6:30 Report.
News leader in northern Iowa and southern Minnesota, the TV3 News Team, Cammie Rapson, Brian Mastry, meteorologist Eric Maitland, and sports with Gary Aricaldi. KIMT's Eyewitness News at 6.
WYMT TV, sharing the news at home. This is 57 Mountain News.
Stay tuned for the 6 p.m. edition of News Center 5 on KHAS TV.
Larry Kane, Al Meltzer, Herb Clark, Jane Robelo, and the Channel 10 News Team. Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Gary Papa, Dave Roberts, and Jim Gardner.
This from WBNS 10 TV Columbus, Dave Kaler, Jane Rogers, and Janet Watkins. This is the noon edition of 10 TV Eyewitness News. Is News Watch 4 with Mona Scott, Tom Campbell, meteorologist Ben Gelbert, and Brett Atkins.
Now, Denver's first early evening news. Cynthia Hessen, John Lindsay, sports with John Keating, and Dennis Ketterer with the first look at the weather. Now, 7 News at 4.